Welcome to Enterprise Headline News. I am Moi Oshunkede, and first the headlines. Restates commitment to attract investors boost economy. CBN reiterates funding support to indigenous companies. In Africa, Saudi Arabia plans oil refinery, petrochemicals plant in South Africa. And South Africa turned down Zimbabwe request for $1.2 billion loan in December. And also in the world of sport, Tottenham eyed €2 million Carroll deal. AC Milan nears completion of a €30.9 million deal for Christoph Piatek. Stay tuned as we bring you details of this and many more. The Securities and Exchange Commission has restated its commitment to partner with relevant government agencies and the private sector to attract more investments to the country. Acting head of media of SEC, Mrs. Efe Ebelo, said this when she received the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, Mrs. Yewande Sidiku, in Abuja. She said the collaboration was in a bid to further boost the economy, adding that the Commission was also poised to revitalize the commodities exchange market, among other initiatives. The Central Bank of Nigeria says it is ready to facilitate access to foreign exchange by Nigerian companies that want to import equipment to ease business growth in the country. The CBN Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, said this on Sunday during an inspection of Dangote refinery, which would be refining 650,000 barrels of crude oil per day. Also adding that the foreign exchange would transform the Nigerian economy from a net importer of refined petroleum products to a net exporter of petroleum products. The governor said that the support to indigenous companies by the CBN was to ease the importation of equipment needed in Nigeria for production. And in Africa, Saudi Energy Minister Khalid Al-Falih says Saudi Arabia plans to build an oil refinery and petrochemicals plant in South Africa as part of $10 billion of investments in the country. Al-Falih disclosed that Saudi oil would be used in the planned refinery, whose construction would be led by state energy company Saudi Aramco. In comments following a meeting with South African Energy Minister Jeff Radebe in Pretoria, Saudi Arabia was also interested in using South Africa's major oil storage facilities, Al-Falih said, adding that Saudi utility developer Alkapar was looking at investing in South Africa's revamped renewable energy program. South Africa turned down a request from its southern African neighbor Zimbabwe for a $1.2 billion loan in December, arguing that South Africa does not have that kind of money. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe was hit by anti-government protests last week after a hike in fuel prices stoked anger over an economic crisis, leading to loss of lives. However, Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa said on Sunday that he would return home from a European tour and skip the World Economic Forum in Davos to address the crisis. And now to the world of sport. West Ham forward Andy Carroll is a shock contender to solve the striker crisis at Tottenham and could be on his way to North London for just €2 million. The proposed deal, which will see Chelsea striker Alvaro Morata head to Atletico Madrid, will be an initial 6-month loan deal with an option to buy for €48.5 million. West Bromwich Albion has set to offer former player Giles Baines a contract. Tyson Fury is free to seek neutral judges for his Deontay Wilder rematch after getting robbed in the December showdown. AC Milan are close to finalizing a €30.9 million deal with Genoa for Polish striker Christoph Piatek, which will trigger Gonzalo Higuain's move to Chelsea. Argentinian Higuain was left out of the squad for Milan's game against Genoa on Monday. His manager Gennaro Gattuso saying that the 31-year-old had produced one of the worst training sessions he had seen. And that will be all on Enterprise headline news. But just before we go, we bring you the major highlights of the top stories. We brought it to you that SEC restates commitment to attract investors, boost economy, and also CBN reiterates funding support to indigenous companies. And in Africa, Saudi Arabia plans oil refinery, petrochemicals plant in South Africa. South Africa also turned down Zimbabwe request for $1.2 billion loan in December. And in the world of sports, Tottenham eyed €2 million Carroll deal. Also, we brought it to you that AC Milan yes completion of a €30.9 million deal for Christoph Piatek. Thank you for tuning in. For contacts and more details on business news, you can reach us through our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram on Enterprise Network. Our social media, www.enterprisenetwork.africa. I am Moyi Oshunkedi. Many thanks for watching.